How does social media affect video marketing? Maybe your videos are getting views and the numbers are starting to grow, but clients, yeah, you're not getting any of them. And are your efforts on social media worth it? Like, should you be promoting your videos through Facebook or LinkedIn? If that's the approach that you're exploring or that you've tried, there's actually a much better way that I want to explore. So the purpose of this episode is to show you what's missing and how you can shift your video marketing strategy so that you can actually get leads and sales. Let's dive right in. Let's get some of these common myths out of the way. Myth number one, if people watch my Reels or TikToks, my marketing is working. All right, so if you have a Reel or something that goes viral, you're getting seen by all these new people that have never heard of you before, isn't that great marketing? Well, did it generate any leads or customers? So yeah, you've had a video that went viral, right? And it generated no new leads. So I would not classify that as marketing. So views do not equal leads, right? There are lots of different types of views, and a high volume of the wrong type of view is not valuable to your business. The reason that we are so addicted to wanting high views is because we see people that are focused on that. Their focus is ad revenue. Their focus is turning YouTube into their business. They become an independent contractor for YouTube. And as long as they can generate a lot of views, YouTube can advertise to those viewers. And so YouTube pays creators. And so you become an influencer, you become a YouTuber. But that's not what we're talking about. You're a business owner. We're talking about using video for marketing. Myth number two, social media is the best place for video. Well, social media is the best place for video to go viral, but what about marketing? Social media can be a great place to nurture your audience with video. So if you're friends on Facebook or your LinkedIn connection, if you post a video, your friends or your connections will see that and it will nurture them. You'll stay top of mind. You might expand your relationship or build on that relationship, but you're not marketing, right? You're not getting in front of new people. I talk a lot about YouTube on this channel and how putting videos on YouTube works really well for marketing. And there's one huge reason why, because YouTube has a content search engine. In fact, it is the best content search engine on the planet. And Google backs it up too. So we have the Google search engine that references YouTube videos, and those two work so well that now the new AI tools like Perplexity or ChatGPT, they're using YouTube videos very heavily in their recommendations. So if you post a video on other social media like Facebook or Twitter or X or Instagram, LinkedIn, those don't have content search engines. You can't search for content by topic. You can only search for people. So none of that content that gets posted on social media is going to be found by people if they're doing a Google search or a YouTube search or a ChatGPT search. So the only way that your content can be seen by new people is by going viral, and viral isn't the traffic you want. You want to show up in search when your focus is lead generation. Myth number three, short form is the future. So this one's really funny, and a lot of people believe this just because they've heard it passed on from so many people. But it's like saying people don't like large meals anymore. They only like snacks, right? But you will see if you go to a restaurant, people aren't there just to get a snack. They want a full meal. Maybe if they're at a gas station or in the checkout line and they see snacks there, they might buy snacks. There's different points in the day where you might have snacks, but there's typically 3 times in the day where you still have a full meal. Now, when people are on TikTok or they're on Instagram or they're viewing YouTube vertically and they like shorts, I can't stand them. It's because they suck me in and distract me too much. So when I watch YouTube, I watch it this way. Or when I sit down on my couch and I turn on Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus or whatever your show platform of choice is. Imagine if we sat down on the couch, we're ready to watch something and we think, ooh, there's a 2-minute reel, and then we get up and we leave. That's typically not what happens. We might be more interested in a 43-minute episode, or maybe even, we pop popcorn and we're ready to watch a 2-hour-long movie. But that type of long content would never work on Instagram or on TikTok. So here's the reality on YouTube. When TikTok came about, YouTube knew that it had to compete, and so it started creating YouTube Shorts. And in the beginning, YouTube Shorts were just videos. They were just short videos. But YouTube learned that, man, we've got two different audiences here for two different scenarios. We've got to separate shorts and videos. So a video is longer content and a short is short. So when that happened several years ago, that separation, guess what happened to content? Content trended longer. Go look at any of your favorite YouTube channels that creates longer content and compare the length of content that averages today compared to just a few years ago. If you look at Mr. Beast, you'll look at his content, and 3 years ago compared to today is twice as long. So with short content being the future, yeah, there are people that have success with YouTube Shorts or on TikTok, but I haven't seen that success translate into the business space when you're using it for lead generation. And believe me, I've done tests. I've done a lot of experiments. Whenever YouTube comes out with a new Shorts feature, I'll experiment with it and try it, because my end goal is building a relationship, generating leads for businesses, and new things come about and change. That's why we're getting such huge results today from leads from ChatGPT. One of the things that I've tested is, can you use short form content to tease your long form evergreen content that builds relationships? Because short form content does not work to build relationships or generate leads, but can you use it to tease content and introduce people to your longer content? I've tested that too. In fact, I produce over 60 different YouTube channels, and on a handful of them, we started producing shorts that were very intentionally directed at leading people to watch longer form content. Like, we would introduce something in a short, sensational, exciting way, trying to build interest, and then linking them to a longer form video. We tried this in a variety of ways and on a variety of topics on a variety of these handful of channels, and the results were exactly the same on every single channel. We increased our views on our longer videos by 0.1%. That's a low number. 0.1% for that effort, when you can get to the end of the video and put up an end screen and say, watch this video next. That typically results in about 0.9 or a full 1%. So that's still a low number, but 0.1% is a fraction of that. And that's for going through all this extra effort to create these YouTube Shorts. So as new features come out, I'm going to continue to test them, but I would say that's not worth the effort. Why do my social videos get tons of views but no clients? Well, that's a good question, because there are going to be exceptions that you find, but in general, that's right. When you have a video that gets viral type traffic, it doesn't generate leads or clients. The reason that things go viral is because they're funny or they're interesting, or maybe that they're controversial, but you're not pulling in people that actually need that help. So imagine being at a football game. You're in this big arena and the mic happens to get passed to you and you just happen to announce, hey, I sell insurance, or I'm a life coach. You know, how many leads are you going to generate from that? Probably not a whole lot. But on the other hand, you could have a much smaller group of people that are really interested in transforming their life, or they're looking for insurance. And if you have those people that are your captive audience, yeah, you're going to generate leads. So having something go viral, even having something that generates a lot of subscribers, understand that you don't own those social media subscribers or those YouTube subscribers. When you have a business, the most valuable thing that you can grow is your email list, right? So you have their direct contact information, their email list, you have their phone numbers. That's what you own and control. And you own your own website, so you can control the experience that people have when they're on your website. When we're talking about social media or other platforms, you don't own the feed. You don't get to control the experience that people have. So you use those sites as entrance points for people to find you, to really take advantage of that search engine, but then you direct them to your website next, and that's where you want to nurture them. So if you're tired of creating content that gets a lot of views, but it just doesn't move your business forward, then I recommend a smarter approach. I want to teach you my LEAF strategy. This will teach you how to create the right type of strategic content that will rank on ChatGPT, that will rank at the top of YouTube and on Google, and it will pull in the people that you want to have as clients, and it will build a relationship with them. Now, the best place to create this type of content is YouTube. So you put that content on YouTube, and when it's created the right way, it appears on Google and ChatGPT and other AI tools as well. So I'm going to link to a video right here. It's called The LEAF Strategy, How to Rank #1 on YouTube. Definitely go watch that video next.